Kenny Bartolo Colon was brilliant, 87 pitches in 8 innings. Hector Noesi, first Yankee to win his major league debut since Ian Kennedy in 07. He pitched 4 innings, got the win. Alex Rodriguez, a season high, 4 hits, 4 for 7, 2 runs scored. And you saw Cano, 2 for 6 with a double, 2 ribbies, and a run scored. So the Yankees win that one 4-1. Now, let's look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup. CC Sabathia will go for the Yankees, and Brad Bergeson gets the start for the Orioles, and Sabathia loves pitching against the Orioles.
He certainly does. He's been shaky of late, but maybe the Orioles are the tonic that he needs. 15-2 in his career against the Orioles. Look at the rest of the numbers. Very impressive, but even more impressive here in Baltimore at Camden Yards. He is 9-1. He's won 6 straight decisions here. Maybe it's the crab cakes.
Could be Boog's Barbecue as well. Hey, settle in for a long night. We've got a lot of stuff to do right here in Baltimore. There it is. Maybe you need some of that. Maybe you need some of that. I know what else you need. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, next on Yes.
Are you a victim?
The situation is very fluid. Pun definitely intended. Yes, they have the tarp back on. And if you want the weather to change here in Baltimore, just wait a couple of minutes. Derek looks like he's in a daze. Alex talking things over with Rob Thompson. The Yankees, at least, are resting on the laurels of a 4-1 victory in 15 innings. But CC Sabathia wants to get out there on that mound. And the Yankees want to play this game. So do the Orioles. You can't keep stacking up rainouts because both of these two teams have had 2 rainouts already between themselves, and they're going to have to make those up later on in the season. They're expecting this to clear. We're crossing our fingers and hoping that it does. And when it does, we'll have baseball for you. But while you wait, sit back and enjoy Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and John Flaherty back in our Yes Network studios. Guys, pitch against the Mets tomorrow, Kenny. But this is a team that he has dominated for a long time and loves pitching in this ballpark.
Well, he has struggled somewhat a little bit of late. And any time that happens, whether you're a hitter or a pitcher, you get to a team that you've performed well against in the past. You feel comfortable. Maybe you'll get yourself a couple of hits if you're a hitter. And maybe as a starting pitch, you'll give your team a performance that will pick up a victory. And be nice for the Yankees to sweep this brief 2-game series. Remember, they have not lost to the Orioles this year.
And if they do that, Kenny, then all of a sudden the panic of the 6 games that they lost in a row, that dissipates because they won the game against Tampa Bay and then would have come here to Baltimore and taken 2 in a row. And then they go into the weekend against the Mets with a completely different feel, having won 3 in a row. It's amazing. It's a long season. It's probably the most trying season and the one that really weeds out the pretenders from the contenders. If you're a good team over 162 games, you will be found out that you're a good team. And if you're not, the same thing applies. Of all the sports, this is the best test of a real champion. 162 games is an absolute bear, and the Yankees right now in the middle of a time in their schedule where they'll play 32 games over 33 days, and that is a very tough schedule, especially with a lot of veterans on your team. So that's something that they're dealing with as well, Kenny. So they just like to get out of Baltimore with this win tonight, and then they'll go into Yankee Stadium for the first game of the Subway Series again.
And you can see when you're winning a few games in a row, you can have some fun in the dugout. It is Brad Bergeson in the Oriole dugout. It looks like he's ready to get started. Actually, he and CC Sabathia hooked up earlier this season here at Camden Yards. CC came away with the win. The Yankees pounded the Orioles that day by a score of 15-3.
Interesting matchups as well. 3-game set at Yankee Stadium. It all starts tomorrow night, and then Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Friday and Saturday we'll have it all. Then Saturday or Friday and Sunday we have it all. And on Saturday that game is going to be on Fox, but we'll have Yankee extra innings after that. Tomorrow it's going to be R.A. Dickey going for the New York Mets against Freddie Garcia for the Yankees. Dickey off to a subpar start after his great season last year. Chris Capuano coming back from injuries, 3-4 with a 4.78 against A.J. Burnett. And A.J.'s going to try to bounce back from a subpar outing. And then on Sunday, you got Mike Pelfrey, who's pitching much better of late, despite that high ERA, against Ivan Nova. So a big 3-game set in the Subway Series as interleague play begins again. And that's something to talk about as well. We'll talk about it during the game. Jim Leland, the manager of the Tigers, has come out and said he does not like interleague play. But I'll tell you one thing, the commissioner of baseball, Bud Selig, likes interleague play. And so do the fans, because you can see the attendance averages jump when interleague play begins. Well, it looks like we're almost ready for baseball. The Orioles have taken the field, led by Adam Jones. Buck Showalter, the Oriole manager, is trying to squeeze a win out of his team with a lot of injuries as well. We're here right now. Why don't we sit back and enjoy our national anthem? It took 15 innings and 4 minutes, under 5 hours yesterday, but the Yankees got the victory in the first game of the set, 4-1. Brad Bergeson's trying to earn a split for the Orioles. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup that Bergeson's going to face, and it's presented by our good friends at Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, will lead off. Then it's Curtis Granderson in center field. Mark Teixeira will DH tonight. He'll bat third. Batting fourth and playing third, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano, the big hit in the 15th yesterday. He'll be the second baseman, batting fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Russell Martin. Jorge Posada in the field as the first baseman will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing right field, Nick Swisher. And the left fielder, Brett Gardner, will bat ninth.
Derek Jeter awaiting his turn at bat. He'll be facing the 25-year-old right-hander. Brad Bergeson will be on the mound. For the Baltimore Orioles tonight, you check out his numbers on the season. He's been in 8 ball games, 7 of them with starts, 1 and 4. You can see the earned run average, more than a hit per inning. Not a real strikeout pitcher, not a power pitcher. Let's go to the G pitcher scout report right quickly here. 8 was enough. He won his last start against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Orioles had lost his previous 8 starts. He's got an improving changeup. He used it against the Rays. And 2008 Jim Palmer Award winner. That meant he was the Orioles' best pitcher in their minor leagues in 2008.
Bergeson's ready. So is Jeter. Let's do it here in Baltimore. The first pitch is low, and we are underway. So a rain delay of about 15 minutes. We're ready to roll. Jeter 2 hits last night. He takes a strike. He's at 255. And he has 2,968 career hits, 32 away from 3,000. The 1-1. Skied the other way. Going to be a tough play for Markakis on the run. He's going to have to play it up off the wall. And Derek Jeter starts it off with a double. He's 31 hits away. Let's take a look at the Oriole defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. We've seen Markakis in right, Jones in center, and Felix P.A. is in left. Reynolds, Hardy, Andino, and Snyder third to first. Fox behind the plate. Bergeson is on the mound. And because of injuries, Buck Showalter is carrying 2 players on the bench. One is the catcher. So, honestly, he's got 1 player that he can go to on the bench, and that's Luke Scott, a left-handed batter.
And Scott himself is dealing with an injury, a torn labrum.
And there's a strike to Curtis Granderson. Brian Roberts was put on the 7-day concussion deal. They started that this year. And Derek Lee was put on the 15-day deal with an oblique problem. Jakubowskis was brought up, as was Troy Patton.
A couple of pitchers.
High drive, right field. Going back, Markakis on the track, looking up. It's off the wall. Jeter around third. He's coming home. He's going to score. And Granderson with a triple and an RBI. The Yankees up 1-0.
I was talking about that game that Bergeson started against the Yankees right here at Camden Yards. That was back on April the 23rd. The Yankees pounded him. He gave up 6 runs in 6 innings, along with 8 hits. And right from the start, a double and now a triple. This ball is hit so high in the air, it gave Granderson time to get all the way to third base, despite the fact it's kind of short to the scoreboard in right field.
Orioles will play the infield back at second and short with Teixeira, the pitch in the dirt. And I give Granderson credit. If he's one of those players that was going to look and style after hitting a home run, he would not have gotten a triple. He was running hard, never, ever took for granted that that was going to go over that high wall. Ground ball to second. That's going to get in Granderson. So Teixeira picks up a ribby, and the Yankees have a 2-0 lead.
Michael called it. Granderson hustling. Takes the turn and now turns it on as the ball bounds off the wall. That is his 4th triple of the season, and that produced the Yankees' first run.
And you know what, Kenny? I apologize to the kids that are watching, because we shouldn't celebrate somebody who runs. That should be the norm. It shouldn't be something that we have to point out. But in this case, it is something you point out, because he got a triple because he hustled.
Yeah, sometimes when you hit one and you know it's close to being a home run, hitters will stand there and watch it. They'll go into their Cadillac trot.
There's a strike to A-Rod, 0-2.
You know, I was beginning to think which player actually started that. Watching him go out of the ballpark. I think he had a birthday yesterday.
Could it have been Reggie?
Yeah, well, Reggie hit him so far, he kind of knew that no ballpark was going to hold.
The 1-2. Alex Rodriguez in his last 2 games is 6 for 11 with 2 homers, scoring 4 runs. The previous 10, 7 for 40. A home run and 2 runs scored. Now, according to everybody involved, Alex is going to get his hip checked out tomorrow. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but they just want to make sure a check up. Because for a while, though, they thought that maybe there was a problem with his lower half, but he's been swinging the bat great. They just want to make sure.
Well, last night he had his first 4-hit game of the season, so that would make any problem that you had feel a lot better.
So 2 runs quickly in for the Yankees. A double to open the game by Jeter, a triple by Granderson, and an RBI ground out by Teixeira. So 2-0, 1 out, top of the first, and a 2-2 count on Alex Rodriguez. There's a strike, and Alex Rodriguez down looking. Home plate umpire Larry Vanover.
Let's see whether the target is of Jake Fox, and I think Bergeson got a break on that one. That might have been a little bit outside.
Those are the umps tonight. Larry Vanover behind the plate. Brian Gorman at first, Tony Randazzo at second, and Dan Bellino over third. Hey, with Derek Jeter leading off with a double, it bears noting that he's reached base safely to lead off the first inning in 16 of the 31 games he started in the first batting order position this season.
He had a single here last night to start the game.
And his over 500 on base percentage in those situations is the highest for any major league player. Cano got the big blow yesterday. First pitch that he saw from Mike Gonzalez and drilled a 2-run double. Misplayed out there by Jones. He ended up on third, but that broke the 1-1 tie.
Look out.
And Cano gets plunked.
Now with 2 outs and nobody on, and Cano up in these situations, we all know how well Cano has hit the Baltimore Orioles, including the game-winning hit in last night's ball game. Cano comes into the night a career .351 hitter against Baltimore. The target's in the middle of the plate, and it hits him in the middle of the thigh instead. You know what? They won't play that game. I know a big guy who's pitching for the Yankees tonight won't let that slide. We saw it last week with A.J. Burnett.
Russell Martin takes upstairs.
When Cano got hit against Kansas City, Burnett didn't let it slide. Jeff Francoeur took one in the middle of the back.
Scary moment yesterday.
Yeah.
Mike Gonzalez beat Chris Dickerson, and before the game they actually met behind home plate and they hugged, and it seemed as if Gonzalez was saying, listen, I didn't mean to do that. And both of us didn't feel that he did that on purpose. But I think Major League Baseball players get upset because they say, hey, you're a big leaguer, you have to know how to pitch inside. You can't be hitting people. So, Kenny, even if it's not on purpose, they're not happy about it.
You have to send a message eventually. You just can't be plunking our guys. And here's Dickerson, and he still has headaches. Didn't sleep very well last night. Looks like he's got a little mouse under that left eye there.
He's a lucky man.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse.
And Russell Martin works a walk. And this was the little moment of peace behind the batting cage today.
This is Gonzalez right here. The other Oriole is Clay Rapata.
Mark Connor, the pitching coach, goes out and talks with Bergeson, and waiting at home plate is Jorge Posada. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. We knew there was rain before, but now there's no rain. Let's see if there's any in our forecast. And we have a team of people working on this, and they came up with 63 degrees, 94% humidity. There's no wind, 0. But there is a chance of thunderstorms, which is great. Great news.
You know what, Michael, we're not really into the heat of the summer yet around here. So next time the Yankees will come here, it'll be a lot hotter.
First baseman Jorge Posada. 2 for 3 in his last game, 6 for 15. So he's been hitting better of late. His average up to 179. And there's strike. Now you know you've been slumping when you can have the announcer utter the word his average up to 179. But he'd like to push it over the Mendoza line.
Well, you will certainly want to get off the interstates.
Posada batting 7th tonight.
When I was struggling, my dad used to say, you know, you're not hitting your weight.
That one gets past Fox as the runners move up. A rough inning for Brad Bergeson.
Posada jumps out of the way. The runners move up 90 feet. So now he has a couple of runners in scoring position.
The 2-1. 3-1.
There's that sinking fastball by Bergeson. He has certainly gotten off to a rocky start. His last start, he was brilliant against Tampa Bay down at Tropicana Field. He pitched a complete game victory.
That's right. Here's the payoff. And Posada works a walk. And the inning continues with the bases loaded for Swisher.
And pitch count mounts.
Well, the Orioles do bring a 9-man bullpen into this game, so they can certainly fill the innings. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
Yeah, that game that Bergeson threw was a complete game shutout. The Orioles beat Tampa Bay 6-0.
Swing and a miss by Swisher. Nick has struggled from the left side. He's been stronger from the right side. Seems as if Bergeson does not know where the ball is going.
Yeah, you know what? He's been very erratic, not even near the strike zone on certain of his pitches.
Driven out to left field. Felix Pierre on the run. And he can't make the play. It is going to possibly clear the bases. Here's the throw home. Posada's in there. It's a 3-run double for Swisher. And the Yankees lead 5-0.
Well, all the Yankees need here. They've had a couple of doubles, a triple, and now a single, and jump out to an initial 5-0 lead. Felix Pierre is a good outfielder. He's got very good speed, but even he couldn't run this down. This ball slicing away from him. Watch him get to a point, reach out just off the edge of his glove. Would have been a heck of a play. Maybe if he lays out, he gets to it. He decides to stay on his feet, and the ball breaks off his glove, and the Yankees have 3 more runs.
Here's Gardner. And there's a strike. So the Yankees have batted around. The number 9 hitter comes to the plate in the first inning. Oh, 2.
So the Yankees have 5 runs on 3 hits. The 2 walks and the hit batter really fueled this inning. As a recently recalled, just called up today, Chris Jacobowskis, right-hander, warming up in a bullpen. I didn't think he thought he was going to get this early a call.
Line foul.
And double scored a hit batter and 2 walks. Remember, Cano was hit with 2 outs and nobody on.
The 0-2. 1-2. Well, the number on Bergeson's back is 35. And he is about to throw his 35th pitch of the first inning. And he throws a strike. And Gardner is down looking. But the Yankees get 5 runs on 3 hits. The bats certainly come alive. Jeter started it with a double. A triple by Granderson. Everybody else was chipping in. Yankees 5. And the Orioles coming to bat.
An airline's job is to take you from where you are to where you need to be. And we're not just talking about points on a map. With a more intuitive Delta website and mobile app and the most Wi-Fi equipped planes, we let you be everywhere at once. Innovations like these are extending our reach so that you can extend yours. And now, even at 30,000 feet, you can still touch the ground.
You don't have to sneak into the Hyundai VIP tent. Just get here ASAP. You can get the Tucson for an easy 1.9% APR or $259 a month. This roomy, well-equipped CUV gets 31 MPG, has been named a top safety pick by IIHS, and comes with a Hyundai Assurance trade-in value guarantee. Turn off the TV.
Trump 5-0 hole. And this is the Orioles starting line that will try to make it up. Presented by Bank of America. Robert Andino, the second baseman, leads off. Then it's J.J. Hardy in short. Nick Markakis in right. Vlad Guerrero will be the DH. Adam Jones bats 5th, plays center. Felix Pleye, the left fielder. Mark Reynolds, the third baseman, will bat 7th. Batting 8th and catching, Jake Fox. And Brandon Snyder, the first baseman, will bat 9th.
Buck Showalter looks on. He looks out towards the mound, and he's going to see CC Sabathia on the mound for the Yankees tonight, a pitcher who's done very well against the Baltimore Orioles prior to Buck's arrival. Looking at numbers on the year, kind of pedestrian for CC, but this was a time of year last year when he really took off. He was 4-3 last year at this time, then won 14 of his next 16 decisions. Maybe this will be the jump start tonight. Our Jeep pitcher scouting report, Sweet 16.
Robert Andino takes a strike.
The Sweet 16, if he beats the Orioles tonight, will be the 16th time he's beaten them against 2 losses. Pettit, Wells, and Ford. Each one of those Yankee left-handers beat the Orioles at least 5 times in a season. CC did that last year.
Fouled away.
And on the rebound, CC's been struggling of late. He's been giving up quite a few runs in his last few innings. And like I said, sometimes you face a team you feel comfortable against over the years, but get you jump started in the other direction. Andy Pettit beat Baltimore in 2003. He beat them 6 times in one season. Beat the Orioles 6 times.
And with the unbalanced schedule, you will play 6 series against each team in your division, and you have the opportunity to win 6 games.
When you look at those pitchers that were listed, all 4 of them are left-handers, including CC.
The 0-2. Driven out to right field. Giving chase is Swisher, and he'll put it away. for the first out. Let's take a look at the entire Yankee defense. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. We already see Swisher in right, so let's go to Granderson in center, Gardner in left. The other way in the infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, and Posada, third to first. Posada's 16th career start at first base. Russell Martin behind the plate, and Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound. Jorge doing some infield work today before the game. You don't see that much anymore. Teams used to always take infield, but it wasn't the entire Yankee team. It was Nunez and Jeter at shortstop, and then Posada at first, making the throw toward first, fielding grounders, getting the throws from the two shortstops.
And then turning to the throw from first to second, simulating a 3-6-3 double play. You're right. Teams used to take infield prior to each and every game.
But watching that was like, you know, cramming for the SAT an hour before you had to go into the room.
You ever see the phantom infield drill?
Yes.
Where the coach would, there was no ball. The players would just go through the motion like the coach was hitting a ground ball to third. There'd be no ground ball. The third baseman would scoop up a ball that wasn't there, throw across to first. It was tremendous entertainment.
J.J. Hardy swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. The throw is made to first for the second out. Then talking about CeCe, let's check out the Delta League leaders. Wins against Baltimore amongst active pitchers. Roy Halladay's in the other league. He has 20. Tim Wakefield with 16. Not in the Red Sox starting rotation any longer. Sabathia with 15. Lester with 14. And A.J. Burnett with 12.
I think Andy Pettit beat Baltimore 27 times. I think it was something like 27-6.
Here's Nick Markakis. Breaking ball strike. And Markakis gets plunked, and now they're even.
You could see that coming.
And the home plate umpire will warn both benches.
That was a nice setup with the curveball, too. You're not going to get many guys charging the mound with CeCe Sabathia. I mentioned he's going to take care of it. A.J. Burnett did it right in the small of the back. Nowhere to go for Nick Markakis except the first base. And they're going to check on him. You know, that's just a warning for the Orioles to be careful. You hit Cano. You hit Dickerson last night. Even if you don't mean to hit them, just be careful. Now, when you get confirmation that Andy Pettit was 27-6 against Baltimore, I guess when he announced his retirement over winter, you could hear a collective sigh down here in Baltimore.
This was his charm city.
All right, now you can get back to playing baseball.
And that's a line drive base hit to right field. Markakis will go to third. Guerrero will stop there at first. And Nick Swisher unleashes the throw home. So runners on the corners with 2 outs. Now they talk about old-time players, and you'll see Guerrero just take this outside pitch the other way, that they police themselves. Well, let's say the Orioles had been getting frisky. and that they had thrown at the Yankees. Well, Nick Markakis would go in and tell them, you know, enough. I got hit for no reason. I had nothing to do with this, and I'm the collateral damage.
Exactly, because pitchers don't hit it in the American League. And he knows what's going to happen. You know, 2 outs, nobody on. You got to expect it.
Oh, he knows what's going on. He knows the code of baseball.
Somebody's going to get it.
Yeah, he got drilled.
He just happened to come up at the wrong time. You know, if there's a man on base, he doesn't get it.
Right.
But, you know, somebody else would have.
And that move by Sabathia will only further endear him to a team that loves him already. The 1-0. 1-1. Jones has been hot of late. A 4-game hitting streak, 6 for 17. Longer stretch, 24 for 63. That's 381. CC dealing 95 miles an hour.
You know, there are certain guys on your team that you should not allow to be taken advantage of. And Robinson Cano's one of them. You know, you don't want any of your guys hit, but he is very high on the pecking order of what the Yankees are going to do this year to be successful. And you want to show other people, just go around throwing at him indiscriminately. Here we go. 2 outs, nobody on. And Robinson Cano, nowhere for him to go. He takes it right above the knee. And Robbie with a little glare out there. He knows what's up too. Yeah, he got the big hit last night. He's hit the Orioles very hard the last couple of years.
And that ended up costing the Orioles because it opened the gates for 3 more runs.
Didn't it?
A 1-2. 2-2. Now CeCe's trying to avoid his comeback against Markakis, costing him some runs.
Here's what I was talking about. Cano's numbers against the Orioles. Was that 41 games? 41 games. He's hit 446 against them.
Two. Hot shot up the middle. Grabbed by Cano. They'll flip to Jeter, and that will do it here in the first. No runs are hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 1 interesting inning. Yankees lead the Orioles 5-0. Which opponent do you look forward to seeing the most? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here are your choices. Is it the Mets, number 1, or the Red Sox, number 2? I think I look forward to the Red Sox more.
You got to deal with them more.
But I like the Cano has his leg wrapped. That's where he was hit. Yankees ill afford to lose him. Jeter takes a strike. Count 1-1. I don't mind when the Yankees play the Mets at Citi Field because that's the very definition of a short road trip. Ground ball is short. Hardy. 1 away.
I was going to say there is a toll involved there.
There is a toll, but not a toll on your body. 5-0 Yankees top of the 2nd inning. The Yankees begin the Subway Series tomorrow night at Yankee Stadium. They play 2 rounds each year. Mets just swept the Nationals in 2 games. And the Yankees trying to return the favor to the Nationals rivals. And the Nationals and the Orioles will be playing this weekend. There's a strike. July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, the Subway Series moves to Citi Field. The shift is on for Granderson. 3 infielders on the right side. Not many teams do that.
Yeah, the shift wasn't high enough his first time up.
Granderson's triple. He hopes snaps him out of a little bit of a slide. He was 2 for 17 before that hit, but has been hitting the ball well. The 1-2. Line drive. Right at Andino. 2 outs.
Another ball hit on the nose by Granderson. The ball would have caught Andino instead of him catching it directly at him.
Teixeira takes a strike. Teixeira with an RBI ground out, his 23rd ribby in the first inning. Grounded to second. Pitch outside. Start of the game held up about 45 minutes because of rain. Now the skies overhead look pretty nice. Teixeira DHing tonight. Chases a pitch up in the zone. Count 2-2. And the count is full.
This is the first time that Teixeira has actually been the designated hitter this year.
Foul ball. Joe Girardi said today in the long stretch that they have 32 games in 33 days, he's trying to give them all about a half day off, and today was Teixeira's day. The 3-2. Driven out to center field. Adam Jones is there, and he'll make the play for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning for Ferguson and the Orioles. Why don't we go to the bottom of the second? Why not? Yankees 5, Orioles nothing. Here's Felix P.A. He tries the bunt, and right there is Alex Rodriguez.
So PA getting a rare start against a left-handed pitcher and tries to get one. I don't know if he's trying to push it or drag it, but it ended up in the hands of Alex Rodriguez.
Here's Mark Reynolds. Mark Reynolds has actually cut down on his strikeouts. And if you prorate his strikeouts this year, he'll finish with 170. And you'll say, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is last year he had 223. So that would cut 53 strikeouts off his total.
So you would think his batting average would go up.
You would think.
But he's still hitting under 200. At least one strikeout in each of the last 10 games.
So what's not happening is that when he doesn't strike out, he's not getting hits. He's putting the ball in play, but for outs.
Had Jorge Posada at first base tonight. And one reason why Joe Girardi decided to put him at first base tonight. This is his 16th career start at first. His first since 2008 against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Reynolds goes down on strikes again.
It's 11 games in a row now, but Posada's at first base because Girardi thought with a lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup, most of the ground balls would be hit to the left side of the infield, so Posada wouldn't be all that much tested. If there were a right-handed pitcher, they'd be pulling the ball on the ground. So he thought this would be a good night to have Posada play first and have Teixeira being the designated hitter. So we'll try and keep track of how many ground balls are actually hit in Posada's way, but it's more than just about the ground balls. People always think, well, we'll stick him at first base. First base is not as easy as you think.
Jake Fox will ground it to Alex Rodriguez across the diamond, and that will do it. As the Orioles go down in order. Leading off for the Yankees is that man, Alex Rodriguez. The last couple of days, he's starting to heat up, starting to find his swing, starting to feel like Alex Rodriguez. Leading off the bottom or the top of the third inning is Alex Rodriguez, who swings through a first pitch fastball from Ferguson. The 0-1. Lost that one to shallow center. Hardy out. Jones in. Jones makes the call on the catch to retire Alex Rodriguez. On the Lincoln scoreboard, Yankees lead this one 5-0. And here's Robinson Cano. Last time up, hit by a pitch.
One last thing about hitting batters. The real good hitters, you don't intimidate them. You infuriate them. And they are looking for payback as quickly as possible.
Look at his last 16 games here. 5-14, 6 homers and 15 ribbies. Shattered bat and the ground ball short. Hardy. 2 outs.
You take the 514 from Penn Station here in Baltimore, put you into Penn Station in New York at about 724.
Right.
.514 is batting average against
Oh. I lost you, Ken.
All right.
I did not enjoy the journey.
You did on the way down here.
Yes, I did. Always do. Here's Russell Martin. Count 1-0. The big blow in the game, a bases loaded double by Nick Swisher. And what's important about that double, Kenny, did you realize that that's the first hit that he's had with 2 outs and runners in scoring position all year?
All year?
Yep.
Well, Swisher's always enjoyed hitting here in Baltimore. Let's have a number of the Yankees. First hit.
Count 1-2 on Martin. Martin walked and scored in the first. Ferguson has certainly settled down. The Orioles are hoping it's not too little too late. He's working quickly now. Seems like he has more confidence.
Again?
Starting to rain again. Not allowed a home run in 27 in the third innings. Last one was by Russell Martin. That one's hit deep to center field, but it's not out. Boy, that would have been perfect after showing that graphic. But Adam Jones puts it away as the Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the third. Yankees are up 5-0 on Yes. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by BMW, the ultimate driving machine, by J&R Music and Computer World, and by the new definition of world class, the 2011 Buick LaCrosse. That's on the balcony of one of the hotel rooms beyond the left center field wall. And they're watching the game through the rain. Here's Brandon Snyder. Last night's game had everything. The Lincoln scoreboard shows the Yankees up 5-0. A.J. Burnett pinch ran. They had runners left on base, left and right. Brandon Snyder got hit by a ground ball in the 15th inning when the Orioles were trying to mount a comeback.
After going in as a pinch runner.
Yep. Rain intensifying here at Oriole Park in Camden Yards. Many in the crowd retreating for cover. One. Foul back.
Doesn't seem to be dampening the enthusiasm, though.
The 1-2. 2-2. Also in last night's 15-inning affair, the Orioles used 8 pitchers. The 2-2.
And that includes tonight's starter, Jeremy Guthrie, who finished up the game, and that's why Bergeson gets the start tonight.
And that's why it would have been foolhardy for Gonzalez to purposely hit Dickerson and get thrown out of the game and force Showalter to use a pitcher that was at least being considered to start tonight's game, Jeremy Guthrie. There were no other pitchers in the bullpen, so he had to go with one of his starters. The Yankees were in pretty good shape, though. They still had Amari Sinead, David Robertson to heat it up. They didn't use him. Joba Chamberlain was probably not available, but you had a starter, Noesi, on the mound, so he gave you innings, and that was the perfect long guy to have. And then Sinead had pitched a long outing at the stadium last week.
And Noesi picked up his first major league win. 4 strong innings. 4 scoreless innings, I could say. He was in trouble from time to time, but he got out of it.
He walked the tightrope, but stayed in there.
A lot of poise out there on the mound.
The 2-2. Strike 3. Snyder down looking.
From last night, this is Hector Noesi. Now, he'd had the reputation of being a strike thrower. Breaking ball, that one kind of, nice one. That was nasty. Fastball to the corner to Adam Jones. Jones put up a little bit of beef on that one.
Soft ground ball by Andino to Cano. One of the great fears that both Girardi and the pitching coach Larry Rothschild have, they don't need this game to be stopped. And if it is stopped and there's a long delay, that means they just lost a CC Sabathia start. They can't afford to do that, and they'd rather play through a rain than have it go on to an hour rain delay, because you're not going to bring Sabathia out after an hour rain delay.
Particularly after the Yankees came out and scored 5 runs in the first inning to give CC an immediate 5-0 lead. You know, one more thing about the Guthrie pitching last night. Buck Showalter was ahead of the game. He had already sent him out to the bullpen expecting that he might have to use him. He knew that Gonzalez was only in there to face those left-handers who were up there in the Yankee lineup. At the time, the Yankees had 3 scheduled left-handed hitters. Of course, Cano hit one to the gap in right center field.
Hardy struck out in the first inning. Count 1-1 right here. Grounded to short. Jeter gets in front of it, fires off balance. Posada comes off the bat. So Hardy reaches. We'll see how they score that. They're going to give Derek Jeter an error.
It's going to be E6, and remember what I said about first base being more than just catching ground balls. You know, he couldn't have stretched. That ball was well offline, and he couldn't recover in time. Give Hardy credit for hustling down the line. Posada catches the ball, attempts to make the swipe tag. Hardy eludes the tag, and it's going to be E6.
Now, you never know, but Teixeira makes that play all the time. And this is not a knock on Jorge. We showed you the last time he was there. But Teixeira single-handedly saved the game yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Alex Rodriguez, for an inexplicable reason, threw the ball from his knees, and if it got past Teixeira, would have been the end of the game. But Teixeira came up with a beauty, and when asked why he did it, Alex Rodriguez said, "I wanted to have a Brett Favre moment."
Another interception? What?
Yeah, Brett sometimes do interceptions in overtime. The 1-1. Markakis fouls it back.
Markakis got off to a very, very slow start this year, but has beginning to swing the bat like he can. He's had 8 multi-hit games in May. And last year he was a left-handed hitter who hit lefties the best in the major leagues. Hit .361 against left-handed pitching. And that was primarily because he hit the ball well to the opposite field. This year, not quite as effective against lefties.
Swing and a miss off speed. And Markakis down on strikes. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. 3 in the books here in Baltimore. It's 5-0 Yankees on yes. Really coming down here in Baltimore.
One thing the umpires are always aware of, the pitchers on the mound. Do they have their footing? Can they control the ball? You can see, as Michael said, the rain coming down a little harder now.
You ever see a player rushing at bat to make it an official game?
Probably happened.
I would say it'd have to be in the 5th. It couldn't be this early.
No, it wouldn't be this early. Like manager tells you, go up there and make an out.
Yeah.
I've never had a manager go up there and tell me make an out, make this an official game, but it's in your mind.
And for those that are not familiar with the rule, it's not an official game until 5 innings in the book and the home team is trailing. If the home team is in the lead, then it's 4.5 in the book.
Good swing by Swisher. Swisher's due for a good hot streak, particularly from the left-hand side of the plate. Maybe that double will get him going. Bases loaded double just off the edge of the glove of a lunging Felix P.A.
Now, between innings, the head groundskeeper here in Baltimore went to talk with Brian Gorman, the first base umpire and the crew chief, and she was telling him exactly what the radar is telling her. Is there harder stuff coming? She's monitoring it constantly, and she has to tell the umpires, because if there's a window coming up, they'll play through this hard rain, but if they know that this is going to continue for a while, they might choose to bring the tarp out. So the grounds crew and the umpires are in constant communication, and the head grounds crew is Nicole Sherry. I think you can hear the raindrops on our crowd mic. Beautiful.
I can think of more beautiful things than that.
But it almost sounds like popcorn popping.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Foul back.
You know, one thing that Miss Sherry would probably tell the umpires how long, you know, this rain is going to last. You know, that there might be that proverbial window. There's always that window.
The 1-2 line drive, a base hit down the right field line, goes into the puddles in right field. Heading around third is Swisher. Rob Thompson waving him home. The throw will not be made. It's a triple for Gardner, an RBI for Gardner, and a 6-0 Yankee lead.
Well, Brett Gardner's been coming on of late with the bat. Been hitting .377 in his last 22 games. He rips that one over Snyder's head. And he gets into the puddles out in the outfield, and Markakis up with the slick ball, gets it into Andino. No chance to get Swisher. And the Yankees increase their lead.
And the Orioles bring the infield in for Jeter. Jeter's 1 for 2. Down to the count 0-1.
Gardner's 3rd triple of the year.
Jeter opened the game with a double to right field. Promptly scored on Granderson's triple off the high scoreboard in right field. And the Yankees are off to the races. 5 runs in the first, now 1 here in the 4th.
The Yankees have scored 6 runs. 4 of those runs have been a hit batter and 3 walks that have scored. It's taking advantage of Ferguson, putting the runners out there, and the Yankees are plating them.
That one's driven out to right field. Giving chase Markakis on the run. He can't make the play. The ball is dislodged as he hits the wall. Gardner scores, and Jeter will stop at 3rd with a triple and an RBI and a 7-0 Yankee lead.
Something about that wall out in right field tonight. He gets out this way, and it's going to be a 3-base hit. Good effort by Markakis up against the wall. Off of the glove, off the wall. He's going to have to chase it into the corner. That gives Jeter time to get the 3rd. Of course, Gardner scores. Easy back-to-back triples for the Yankees. I think that's even more, might be even more rare than back-to-back home runs.
So Jeter now 30 hits away from 3,000.
And that is his 1st triple of the year.
And that's where he stands on the all-time list. Next up, Sam Rice. And Buck Showalter is going to relieve Brad Ferguson of his duties. Ferguson did not pitch well in this game. Gave up 5 runs in the first. He's given up 2 runs so far here in the 4th. And they will go to the bullpen with the Yankees up 7-0. It's a game of inches, they say. Just in hitting the right part of the glove. Ferguson, he is not too happy, and that's why the call to the bullpen was made. Brought to you by AT&T. Chris Jakubauskas was called up today. He's been up here before this year, 3 games, 9 hits and 7 in the 3rd innings, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. He'll try to stop the bleeding here in the 4th. Yankees feeling good about things, a little loose. A.J. Burnett had a delivery between innings, and he drops all of those towels in the lap of Eduardo Nunez, who maybe was complaining that he was cold. I can only guess why A.J. would have brought all those towels to Nunez.
Yeah, maybe because, it's a rainy night, the other players coming in off the field. He's in charge of handing the towels out. He's a rookie. So he's well prepared.
Could be that. Yankees have 3 triples tonight, 2 doubles, and they said, you know what? No singles tonight.
No stopping at first.
And no home runs. Buck Showalter is not feeling too jolly. The way last night went and the way this night so far is going. CC Sabathia loves the run support. He has pitched better than his record would indicate. And finally getting an outpouring of runs from his offense. Infield in again. And here is Granderson. Pitch is low from Jakubauskas.
The last time CC was here, he went 8 innings and he had 15 runs in support. That was on April 23rd.
Two 2-0. And 3-0. Now, the one thing they were hoping to make the Orioles take that next step was they hoped that their pitching would be better this year, and it certainly was better when Buck Showalter took over in the beginning of August of last year, but their pitching has not been that good.
Outside of Britton.
Yep.
Yeah, Britton's been excellent. He hasn't given up a run in his last 2 starts.
But you look at Bergenson's numbers and you look at Guthrie's numbers, not going to get it done that way. The bullpen has faltered. Popped up. Hardy retreats and makes the catch. Time now for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Who was the last Orioles pitcher to win a Cy Young? We'll find out in the bottom of the inning.
I think I know this one.
It was not Brad Bergeson.
That's cold and rainy.
Well, he's really down. Not a good performance. Here's Teixeira, runner on third with 2 outs. 1-0. Jocko Balkus is 1-1. And the pitch. 2-1.
You know, one reason that Jake Fox is catching tonight is because he was the catcher in Bergeson's last game when he threw a complete game shutout against the Tampa Bay Rays. So Buck Showalter wants to match him up. Could have been completely different. The way this game went, the way his last game went.
That one's driven deep to right field. Markakis is back, turning, looking. See ya! 2-run home run for Teixeira, and it's 9-0 Yankees.
Still those singles. I don't think Bergeson has moved. He might not have even seen this. One of these runs is charged to him. Number 10 on the season for Mark Teixeira.
A-Rod takes the pitch outside, 1-0. 25 ribbies now for Teixeira. And a strike.
It was headed for the warehouse.
High fly ball, right field. Markakis will put it away for the final out. But the Yankees get 4 runs on 3 hits. No errors and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's all Yankees. It's time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Who was the last Orioles pitcher to win a Cy Young? You want to guess, Kenny?
Yeah, Steve Stone, 1980.
That was my guess.
Yeah.
And he threw so many curveballs that he never had another great season.
His arm kind of blew up. 25-7. That's still the record for wins in a season by an Oriole pitcher. And that particular season, the bullpen never blew one of his leads. And also that year, the Orioles won 100 games and went home after the final game of the season, because the Yankees won 103 games that year, and there was no wild card in those days.
And then the Yankees were knocked out of the playoffs.
I don't remember, because, you know, after we went home, I said season's over.
Vlad Guerrero takes a strike from CC Sabathia. Rain continues to fall here in Baltimore, and the Yankees are raining runs on the Orioles, 9-0 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Before the game today, Al Bumbry, my former teammate, was in the booth, and you saw him. And that year, he was the first Oriole to get 200 hits in the season. I never saw a guy hit from opening day to the end of the season, just hit line drives all year long.
He seems like a fun guy.
He is. You should play golf with him. He's not so much fun when you're playing golf with him. You got lunch on the line.
Rolling thunder in the background here in Baltimore.
Is that what that was?
That was it.
Oh, I thought that ball to Teixeira had just landed.
Swing and a miss. Guerrero down on strikes. Put out his mate at first.
It's the 5th strikeout for CC Sabathia. I think one of the things that you find out from CC after this game, and if the Yankees go on and win it, how important was that 5-run cushion before you even went to the mound? And the reason why I say that, because Steve Stone won the Cy Young, and there's a lot of times that he pitched on the road, that's exactly the same thing that happened. He had a lot of run support. For Steve Stone now on TV with the Chicago White Sox broadcast team. Here is the Home Depot hitters scouting report on Adam Jones. His last 15 games coming into tonight, hitting .381, and Paul Blair, who also played for the Yankees for a spell. With Paul Blair was an 8-time Gold Glove winner with the Orioles in center field. He and Adam Jones, the only 2 Oriole outfielders ever to win a Gold Glove. And the interleague play's coming up, and Adam Jones probably can't wait. Last year he hit .348 during the interleague.
Popped up. Cano makes the play for the second out.
And Paul Blair was actually in the stadium tonight. Best center fielder. Don't tell Bunbury this, but Paul Blair was the best center fielder ever played with. An 8-time Gold Glove winner.
And he played shallow, right?
He played very shallow. And I can recall one day in Minnesota, somebody actually hit a ball over his head, and Earl Weaver got really ticked at him and yelled at him when he came off the field. Now here's a guy who won 8 Gold Gloves for him, and he's screaming at him not to let a ball go over his head. We went out to the outfield to play our positions the next inning. I looked up, and Paul Blair was standing on the warning track and wouldn't come in. They were waving towels to get him, but he wouldn't come in. And after the inning was over, Earl apologized to him in front of the whole team. He said, just play where you want to play.
Nice.
Yeah. He proved his point.
That was a rare occurrence.
Oh my, most definitely.
The 1-1. Fastball blown right by PA.
I mean, I was playing right field. I looked over and I couldn't find him. He was standing on the warning track. Let's see, emergency swing by PA, just hoping he would foul that off.
Ground ball is short. Jeter with a tough hop. He gets PA in a 1-2-3 inning for CC Sabathia. We played 4 here in Baltimore, and the Yankees lead 9-0. Turn back the clock night for Giambi.
3 home runs.
9-0 Yankees right here in Baltimore as we go to the 5th inning. And Robinson Cano will lead off against Chris Jakubauskas. Count 1-0. Cano was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, then grounded to short in the 3rd. He scored a run.
Yeah, we showed some of those numbers that Cano has against Oriole Pitt, like video game numbers. Let's go back to last night. And there's one of those many hits that Cano's had against you. This is as it turns out, the game-winning hit. in the 15th inning. Just a little after midnight, wasn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
4:56 it took to play. The 3-1. Oh, there's a base hit for Cano.
Hey, there's a single.
That's the one that was missing. Well, yeah, that's the one that was missing. We do have the home run. Left side of the infield. Watching the action unfold. Here's Russell Martin. There's a base hit to center field for Martin. So 2 successive singles to open up the 5th.
This is the Yankees now with the 8 hits in the game, and you start to look to see who doesn't have one. Alex Rodriguez is 0 for 3. Jorge Posada has walked and flied out. Every other Yankee has at least 1 hit. And some have 2.
The pitch to Posada's outside. The box score full of hits today. Jorge Posada has a walk and a run scored. Alex Rodriguez is 0 for 3. Nothing positive on his end, but everybody else is certainly contributing to a 9-run outburst. Last strike.
You know, one thing that was interesting about last night's game and Hector Noesi being able to pick up his first major league win, you know, he was on the team basically because he was a starting pitcher down in this was the perfect situation for him to come in a ball game, a game that's gone into extra innings, neither side able to score for a long period of time. And Jacobascus was starting down at Norfolk AAA, so he kind of falls into the same situation as Noesi did last night, although the scoreboard is a lot different. But Buck Showalter can leave him in there as long as he's fairly effective.
And he ends up walking Posada on base for the 2nd time tonight. And that loads the bases with nobody out.
His effectiveness seems to be wearing off.
Now Mark Connor, the pitching coach, goes out and talks with him. Follow the New York Yankees with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details. Tough 2 days for Buck Showalter. Yesterday more excruciating. This one, his team has kind of not been in it since the 1st inning. Bases loaded. Here's Swisher.
Again.
Ground ball and off the glove of Andino and trickles into right field. So Cano will score an RBI single for Nick Swisher, his 4th ribby of the night. And the Yankees now have double digits. They're up 10-0.
That's 2 hits for Nick Swisher. Now you think back to maybe all the line drives Swish has hit early in the year that have been caught. He had his double, I should say his double earlier, off the glove of PA, and now an RBI single off the glove of Andino. Maybe earlier in the season, as we look at Yesmo, the fielders were coming up with these plays.
Brett Gardner takes pitch for a strike. The rain has stopped here in Baltimore for the moment. Good sign as we're in the 5th inning. And the count now quickly 0-2. And the 0-2.
Take a look at the infielders. His scoreboard is all in favor of the Yankees. Make for a long night in the field.
One, two. Strike 3. Gardner down looking. So Gardner down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. And that's going to bring up Jeter. Derek's had a good night. Double, triple, RBI, 2 runs scored. Alex is jamming those seeds in his mouth again. I wonder if he's going to come up to bat with that in. Derek 30 hits away from 3,000. Count 1-0.
30 hits away. If you get 30 hits in a month, you're going to be around 300. So you would think if he gets a little hotter here and his averages start to climb, that they would be what's today's date? The 19th of May?
Yep.
You would think maybe around the middle of June, 19th of 3rd week of June.
And where are they playing and who they playing?
The Yankees would be in Cincinnati in interleague play.
And that's the city where he was named captain of the New York Yankees.
Wow. All comes together, doesn't it?
But they come home after that, right?
Yeah, they do. They play the Rockies, the 24th, 25th, and 26th at the stadium.
It'd be nice to have him get the 3,000 hit because there's nothing like the tradition of a Yankee Rocky tilt. Grounded foul.
Let me ask you this, man.
Yeah.
Say he has 2,999 hits that last day in Cincinnati, going into the game.
Right.
If you're Joe Girardi, you sit him?
I think that the game is more important than where he hits the hit.
You think so?
Yeah, and I think that he would think the same thing, Derek.
I think Derek would think that. Maybe Joe Girardi would think that way. He's the one that has the call.
That would be quite the argument. I mean, you can give either side. That one is skied to right field. Coming on Markakis. He'll make the catch. Russell Martin bluffs. The throw is cut off. I remember that they tried to do that with Hank Aaron.
On the home runs,
On
right?
the home run, and
Yeah.
they actually got scolded by Major League Baseball. So he hit the 714th on the road.
In Cincinnati.
Right.
Yeah.
And the 715th, they did sit him out one game. They hit the 715th
At home.
at home,
Fulton County Stadium.
which is now a parking lot.
But they do have the home plate
Yep.
in that parking lot there.
Here's Curtis Granderson with the bases loaded.
So you're saying play. Go ahead. Get the hit in Cincinnati.
It's still a special hit, no matter where he does it. And then the fans give him a big ovation in the next game. High fly ball, left field. Felix PA is there, and he'll put it away for the final out. Well, the Yankees are doing what Wee Willie Keeler would tell them to do. Hit them where they aim, or almost where they aim. Yep, EA, Markakis, and Dino. It's that sort of night for the Yankees and for the O's.
For all that's out there, Range Rover Sport. Attractive lease and finance offers available at your Land Rover retailer.
At GE Capital, we're out there every day with clients like JetBlue, financing their fleet, sharing our expertise, and working with people who are changing the face of business in America. After 25 years in the aviation business, I kind of feel like if you're not having fun at what you do, then you've got the wrong job. My landing was better than yours.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Was not.
Yes, it was. What do you think? Take one of the big ones out?
Today in the pregame, and both tomorrow and Saturday night, come back to Yes for postgame coverage with Yankees Extra Innings presented by Tri-State Ford. And Sunday, we've got complete coverage starting at noon, only on Yes. Now, tomorrow's game will be on My 9. Then Saturday's game on Fox, and Sunday's game will be on Yes. Mark Reynolds is up the count 1-0. The Yankees are up in the game 10-0. Reynolds struck out in the second inning. Tap back to the mound. Sabathia bobbles, regains, and gets Reynolds for the first out. Mets Yankees, it'll be R.A. Dickey tomorrow against Freddie Garcia. Saturday night, Chris Capuano against A.J. Burnett. And then Sunday afternoon, Mike Pelfrey and Ivan Nova.
When you look at the scoreboard, it's lopsided, of course, 10-0. But Baltimore's only had one hit. It came in the first inning.
Clean single right by Guerrero.
Jake Fox. Oh, there's a happy fan. It's worth the trip to the ballpark.
Giving out to right field and deep. Giving chase is Swisher. He's going to have to play it off the wall. Plays it and then bobbles. And Jake Fox is at second with the Orioles' second hit.
Well, Jake Fox had a spring like no other player in the major leagues. He hit 10 home runs in the spring. And of course, with Matt Wieters being the #1 catcher, Fox doesn't get all that many opportunities. Pitch out over the plate, he goes with it. Swisher's going to have to play the carom high off the wall, off the scoreboard. And it's a rubberized track, so the ball bounces up to him, and Fox has himself a double.
There's Brandon Snyder, struck out looking in third.
Nice changeup. Snyder ahead on the count, looking for the heater, and CC wouldn't fall for the bait. He and Russell Martin. Good call. Despite the fact that it's 10-0 on the scoreboard, he's still pitching. He's just not throwing the ball up the home plate.
One-two. Grounded to Jeter. Gets in front of it. Fires across the diamond. And a backhand grab by Posada. for the second out. This is how the Yankees have done against the American League East this season. They haven't done well against the Red Sox, 1-5. They split 2 games with the Rays. The Orioles 5-0, not too bad, and they've taken 3 out of 5 against the Blue Jays.
10-8 against the division.
There's Robert Andino.
Yankees have won 19 of their last 25 games here at Camden Yards. What do you call it, Michael?
South Bronx.
The South Bronx. South Bronx.
The 2-0. A strike. 2-1.
And overall, in this ballpark, the Yankees are 97-52 with 1 tie.
In terms of series?
Yeah, just
games?
Games. So a 651 winning percentage. Best winning percentage of any team in this ballpark.
And they loved it from the day it opened in 1992. And good teams, bad teams the Orioles had, the Yankees seem to flourish in this ballpark. The 2-1. Fouled away. Oh, look at this. Service from Cervelli.
Maybe not. It's the catcher taking care of his pitchers.
The 2-2. 3-2. Colon was in a great mood after the game yesterday. He didn't get the win, but the Yankees did. He pitched well. Couldn't do much more. Big smile on his face.
It's got to be like gravy for him. I mean, totally out of the game.
Here's the payoff. They'll do it again.
And now he's back and pitching well. And feeling healthy.
I'll tell you what, Kenny. I don't know if well does it justice. I think he's been exceptional.
And that's right from spring training. That's how he earned a spot on the team.
There's a better ERA than great pitchers like Felix Hernandez and Cliff Lee. That's what he did last night.
He's like turning back the clock.
3-2. Line drive, a base hit to left field. Jake Fox rounds third. He'll stop right there as Gardner comes up throwing. Woo. That's a smart hold by John Russell. You're down 10-0. You can't get a runner thrown out at home plate.
My goodness, did Gardner make a throw, though? That was a laser he threw to home plate on the fly to Russell Martin. And one reason why Gardner's so effective, he uses his quickness to get to the ball. He charges it very hard. And John Russell, you're right. He thought better of sending Jake Fox, who's not the fastest of runners. But you could have hung out a week's worth of laundry on that throw. It's just a line drive throw as Fox slams on the brakes at third base.
Here's J.J. Hardy. Yankees looking for that one more out to make this an official game. But the rain has stopped at the moment. CC at 70 pitches. One and one. Fans getting a lot of souvenirs, getting some action. Couple of nice catches. Hot shot. Jeter grabs it, flips the Cano, and that'll do it. It's an official game. We played 5 here in Baltimore. CC Sabathia dealing a shutout. He's up 10-0. Texting us at 58772, and here is how you voted. It's very close, Kenny, but 58% say they'd rather see the Red Sox. They look forward to the Red Sox. 42% say Mets. Yankee manager usually doesn't like seeing the Mets because it's kind of a can't-win situation. I've talked to so many players that played on that 2000 World Series team, and they said that that was the most joyless World Series because all the pressure was on them. As Mark Teixeira grounds to first, Snyder takes it himself. That if they lost, then the previous 3 championships wouldn't have meant as much. And that they had to beat the Mets. They couldn't give bragging rights to the Mets and the Met fans. And they felt the pressure. They felt the pressure from the owner of the team. George Steinbrenner was there for every game. And they felt they had to win that to justify everything else.
You know, when you play the team in a World Series, it's like a culmination of all those interleague games. You can multiply it by like 1,000,000 times. That's why you had to win the World Series.
Yep. Rain really starting to come down once the game became official. The skies opened up again. But it might be that sort of night. We'll get some of this, then it'll stop, and then some of this again. Pitch to A-Rod is high. Yeah, most of the guys, I've talked to Paul O'Neill about it. Paul will be with us next week in the Blue Jay series. Felt that at the end of that Subway series against the Mets, there was more relief than elation. The 2-1. There's a strike. Alex, one of the few Yankees that, well, the only Yankee that hasn't been on base. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
There's a moth just in front of the mound.
See, I was going to go butterfly.
The butterfly? Butterfly, moth.
Alex Rodriguez works a walk.
Every so often they get those cicadas around here. What is it? Every 17 years? Every 17 years the cicadas. That one's a little early. That must be a scout.
The Huey Alexander cicada? That does not look like it's doing well. Cano wraps one to short. Bubble by Hardy. They get one, that's all they'll get.
Even his outs are hard against the Orioles.
Toronto's beaten Tampa Bay 3-2. That's a final in Toronto. So the Yankees could pick up a game and move to within 1 of first place Tampa. And all the hue and cry and the panic after 6 straight losses will almost seem like folly if they win this game and they're 1 game out. It's a long season.
You know, I heard on a sports show here, Michael, and I don't see if you want to agree with this or not, that we become like an instant society.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why people have a tendency to panic when you've lost a few. And when it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's a long season, as you called it.
Line drive, a base hit for Russell Martin. Well, Kenny, I was a little surprised the other night. You were in Tampa without Leiter.
Yeah.
And the moth has made its way up.
Seen enough.
But after the game that the Yankees won, the second game,
yeah,
Joe Girardi said that was as close to a must-win as you could have in May. And I was startled by that. I mean, that wasn't a must-win. If they'd lost, so what? I mean, yeah, you want to win, you want to stop a losing streak, but it's so early in the season.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't put that kind of stress on those kind of games.
Yeah, I think what Joe is trying to say, just break the streak, you know, and that's why Mariano came in in a non-safe situation.
I mean, I think we all have to remember that the Yankees are an organization that came from 14 and a half games out at the end of July in 1978 to win a pennant. So it can be done. I mean, if you drop 4 games back in May, so what? But they want, you know, they want to play better baseball. That's what Joe wanted. They want to play better baseball. They hadn't been playing good baseball. Forget about the losses.
Yeah, the defense wasn't really clicking. There was almost the hitting with runners in scoring position during the stretch of 6-game losing was like non-existent. So maybe just to, you know, get that winning feeling back in the clubhouse. I mean, I think that's what he was talking about.
The 1-1. There's a strike. 1-2.
Because this team is just as capable of going out there and winning 6 in a row.
I looked at that 6-game losing streak, Kenny. I said, well, the Yankees are going through it. The Red Sox went through it at the beginning of the year.
And how about the Rays?
And the Rays went through it at the beginning of the year. They're just doing it now. That one is hammered to right field. It's a base hit just inside the line. Cano scores. Martin will stop at third. It's an RBI double for Posada. And the Yankees have an 11-0 lead.
Jorge Posada with his first hit of the night. He's also walked a couple of times. This one's just inside the line. And he's going to pick up a run batted in. Tries in Robinson Cano.
Big night for Swisher. He's been waiting for a night like this. 2 for 2, a walk, a run scored, 4 runs batted in. Second and third with 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. There's a strike from Jaco Vasquez. Grounded to first. Snyder will take it himself, and that's going to do it. But the Yankees add a run on 2 hits and 2 men left. It's 11-0. The ball thinks it's over. He's heading home, but you stay right where you are. All content. Yankee fan with an 11-0 lead. 11-11-1. A lot of ones there. And not too many numbers for the Orioles. 0-3-0. 5 runs in the first inning, 4 runs in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and that all adds up to 11. It's an official game, as we mentioned, and now they'll just try to get through the rest of the game. And the Yankees will head home to New York. Tomorrow they'll play the Mets. Nick Markakis leads off. Markakis, Guerrero, and Jones against Sabathia. Up and in. Count 1-1.
At one time last year, Sabathia was 4-3. Now this year he is 3-3. It was about this time of year.
Kenny, historically, he has not started well.
No, and then he went off. I think he won 14 of his next 16 decisions.
The interesting thing, though, he's 3-3 with a 3.47. I think he's been a little bit of a victim of the Yankee offense not being exactly what they thought the Yankee offense would be. His record should be better than 3-3.
Yeah, there's been
pitched better than that.
And I think the bullpen blew a couple of his leads as well.
Career first half 82 and 50 with a 3.78, and then his ERA gets better in the second half, 78 and 41. Hey, he's a big time pitcher. He's a legitimate ace. Every big time team needs a pitcher like that. And if you look at the teams that have won championships, they always have that sort of pitcher. The 2-2. Strike three. Markakis down looking.
CC Sabathia has not walked the batter in tonight's ball game. His control was kind of iffy his last couple of starts. That was his 6th strikeout. A sharp breaking curveball here leading off the 6th inning to Nick Markakis. Markakis hoping to get the call, but he has a feeling that it's not going to be his night. It wasn't from the very first at bat.
Here's Vlad Guerrero. If you joined us late, Markakis was plunked in his first at bat, the small of the back, because Robinson Cano was plunked in the top of the first inning. And Sabathia is an old school pitcher, and he's protecting his players. And I think the Orioles realized it. The umpires then issued warnings to both benches, and everything's even. That one is drilled into left center field. It's going to be a base hit. It goes to the wall. Granderson fields. He's getting the ball in a hurry. Guerrero's going for 2, and he's out. Oh, that's bad base running. You're down 11-0. You can't even attempt that unless you think you're going to go in standing up. Great throw by Granderson.
Well, first of all, Guerrero does not run the way he used to run. And he hit this like a rocket, but the ball comes directly back to Granderson, who played it off the wall brilliantly. And there's the tag, and plenty of time to get Guerrero. Cano's got the ball waiting for him.
Take a look at the GE Capital partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Yeah, there's the rocket, and watch the ball come directly back to Granderson, who steps into the throw accurately to second, and the ball is waiting on Guerrero. Like I said, he does not run the way he used to run. That was a long single.
You take a look at Buck Showalter, and when he's the manager of the Yankees, he had blonde hair. That's not blonde anymore. That's gray. And there's going to be more grays after a play like that when you're down 11 runs and you get thrown out trying to stretch it into a double.
That ball's to the gap.
Yeah. But you've all, I mean, the play's right in front of him, Kenny. He's got to see that the carom goes right to him.
You know, I'm thinking he might be thinking, what's more embarrassing, getting thrown out at second, or a ball like that turns into a single?
It's close, but I think getting thrown out at second.
Yeah, I think that would 60-40.
The 0-2. Driven into right center field, really hammered. On the run is Granderson. He can't make the play, but it bounces into the seats for a double.
Oh, I told you Adam Jones has been hot. And now he's hitting 14 of his last 16 games in 5 straight. That wasn't even a strike. That was up around shoulder high. He gets on top of it somehow and drives it to the gap in right center. And up over the wall and into the, well, almost into the seats.
So Jones at second with 2 outs. Here's Felix P.A. P.A. 0 for 2, tried to bunt. It was caught by A-Rod in the second and then grounded to short in the 4th. That one is looped into left field, but Gardner had it played beautifully for the final out of the 6th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 1 man left. We played 6 full. It's 11-0 Yanks. Oriole cap's better, the cartoon Oriole, rather than the ornithologically correct Oriole that they wear now.
Well, that's not the same variety of hat of years ago. It used to be the white background. Much like the helmet that Foxes wear.
Right.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be.
But there's the old and the new logos. Gardner goes down 0-2. He has struck out twice and also had an RBI triple.
There we go. That is the back in the day look.
That Oreo seemed a little more jolly and happy.
They were winning more.
Line right to Landino for the first out.
I mean, I spent 10 years in an Oriole uniform wearing that helmet and that hat.
And they won.
Average 90 wins a year.
Now the ornithologically correct one seems a little more fierce. Derek Jeter steps to the plate. Double and a triple. RBI, 2 runs scored. Crowd of 24,939 here at the yard. Ground ball to second. And Dino. 2 away. And here's Granderson. And a strike from Jakubowskis, who took over for Brad Bergeson in the 4th inning.
You know what? And he's done his job. Even though the Yankees have continued to score, he's eaten up the innings in a game that was sort of a blowout right from the beginning. And when you're facing somebody like CC Sabathia and you're down 5 right in the 1st inning, you know it's like climbing Mount Everest to try and get a victory.
Yankee offense needed a game like this, Kenny. Flex his muscle a little bit. Hey, it's still here. We're able to get big hits and drive in runs and put up big numbers like that. Another hit for Curtis Granderson. That's his 2nd of the night. Nick Swisher has been a better player since relieving his head of hair. Buck Showalter said, hey, Jakubowskis, you've given enough. Ate up some innings, so he's going to signal to the bullpen as Mark Teixeira will come to the plate with a runner on first and 2 outs. Stay right where you are. Well, let's check out tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get the ultimate in entertainment on the Ultimate Network. Fios, a network ahead. We've told you about this R.A. Dickey, who has gotten off to a subpar start for the Mets, 1-5, 5.08. And he'll go up against Freddie Garcia, 2-3 with a 3.22. We're all over it. Coverage on Yes starts at 6. The game is on My 9 at 7. After the game, turn right back to Yes for post-game coverage. Here's Freddie, ready to go. And there's the bird, perched.
I don't know how high up he is, but I don't think that bird can fly.
He's on our level. Troy Patton, the left-hander, was called up today, deals a strike to Mark Teixeira. This is what he did at AAA Norfolk. 14 hits, 5 walks, and 17 in the 3rd. Off-speed pitch, quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. Foul back, Patton throwing strikes.
And the way that Mike Gonzalez, left-hander out of the Orioles bullpen, has struggled this year, Troy Patton, well, if he pitches well, he could be here for the remainder of the season. You know, jump ahead of Gonzalez, and who has struggled. Toting around an ERA over 8.
Also toting around a big money contract.
Yeah, well, sometimes it helps keep you on a ball club by default.
2-2. Grounded to short. They'll get to Sharon first, so Patton comes on and does the job. No run to hit, 1 man left, 7th inning stretch time, 11-0 Yanks.
Show your cravings who's boss with Chili's new $6 lunch break. Choose a Texas toast half sandwich like our classic turkey piled high and tasty. Pair it with a delicious Super House salad. Served with seasoned fries, it's big flavor for just $6. Weekdays at Chili's.
An airline's job is to take you from where you are to where you need to be. And we're not just talking about...
Check Tigers Red Sox, and the Tigers mounting a comeback against Daniel Bard in the 8th. Brennan Bosch goes around the pesky pole to pull the Tigers within 1, and Miguel Cabrera follows with a shot into the seats over the monster. All tied at 3 as they head to the bottom of the 9th at Fenway. Michael, Kenny.
Well, thank you, Bob. We'll hear from you a little bit later on, and Jack and John as well. Cadillac scoreboard 11-0. Yankees lead, and CC Sabathia is on the mound. And we'll also hear from Kim Jones a little bit later on. But we're going to hear from her momentarily as she makes a rare appearance in the booth with us.
Rare's right. How about never happened?
Really? It's never happened.
This is the first.
Well, it's good to see you. That's Kim.
It's
So, Kim, the Yankees bullpen getting a little bit of a break today, and they were getting one yesterday, too, the way Bartolo Colon pitched. And I know that you had extensive conversation with Robertson and Chamberlain. And if you think about it, with the injury to Soriano, he's on the DL now. Those two guys, they move up in the pecking order and also in order of importance.
Absolutely, they do. They were part of our batting practice today interview. Today, Michael, we talked to both of the guys, and it was a fun conversation. But what's clear is they've grown up as Yankees, and they've grown up, period, as pitchers. And their experience in big spots, their helpful run for that World Series a couple of years ago has made them the mature pitchers who are ready to handle this responsibility to Soriano.
Seeing Reynolds goes down on strikes. Kim, do they actually like each other?
They really do, and they're really different.
Yeah, they are
Jabba
different.
talks all the time, and I even said to Jabba, does he talk more around you guys than he does us? And Jabba said, no, only if you're talking hunting and fishing, then you can't shut Robertson up. So he is a quiet guy.
You know what? They're all very good at what they do, and the kingpin of the bullpen is Mariano Rivera, and he's also completely different than the two of them. So what does Mariano see in them?
He sees a lot. He thinks they both could be closers. He believes they both have the desire and the drive to be closers someday, and both say, hey, you know, we'd love that someday, but both really like the roles they're in right now. And with Mariano, one thing he's emphasizing with them is positive reinforcement. He says, I want my boys to know how much I appreciate the jobs they did. And lately he's done that a lot, because Joe Girardi, even today, Michael and Kenny, said he would check with Robertson and Jabba to see if they would be available. CC obviously is rendering that a moot point, but they've both been used a lot lately, and successfully lately.
Kim, did you get the feeling that Mariano is getting a sense of passing the baton? Maybe not quite yet?
I get that sense a little bit, Kenny. I don't necessarily think with those comments that's what he had in mind.
He's schooling them, though.
But
yeah.
I think he's very self-aware. Let's put it that way. He's also a gum chewer.
Is he the older brother or is he the dad?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I bet the pitchers would say more like a dad, and I bet he would say more like an older brother, not necessarily because of age, but because I think that's how he would look at the relationship, brotherly.
The 1-2 to Fox. Swing and a miss. Fox down on strikes. Now, you know, you said that Robertson and Jabba are so different. Kim spoke to Robertson, and here's Robertson talking about Jabba and how different they are.
How quickly he works, you know, he's strike one, strike two, and, you know, no one gets on base. He's just nice, clean innings. Me, I like to walk a couple guys or something and make it really hard on myself. And, you know, I wish I could just, you know, go 1, 2, 3 like he does sometimes.
Yeah, they're different, but what makes them different makes them great.
And Jabba gets credit for this Houdini act that he has credited Robertson with, and a lot of people, including Joe Girardi, have picked up on that, calling Robertson's recent escapes Houdini-like.
But you know what I like about it? A lot of those escapes are not of Robertson's making. He comes in with people on base and does a good job getting out of it.
It happened in Tampa Bay the other night. He had to get Nova out of a jam. Bases loaded, 1 out. He struck out Upton and then Kochman.
Line drive right at Cano, and that is going to do it. A 1-2-3 inning here in the 7th inning. Kim, please come back. We love having you here.
Anytime,
Don't
Michael.
Don't be such a stranger.
Anytime.
Can't believe this is the first time you've been with us. We go to the 8th, 11-0 Yanks. Saturday, May 21st, the Yankees are asking you that please arrive at the stadium early. It's the annual military appreciation game. There's a special pregame program planned, which includes a performance by the Army's Golden Knights parachute team. The ceremonies will begin at approximately 6:15, with the Yankees-Mets game to follow at 7:10. So if you have tickets to that game, Mets-Yankees Saturday, May 21st, please be sure to arrive early. Pinch hitter for Alex Rodriguez is Andrew Jones. And on the Hyundai scoreboard, it shows you why they're pinch hitting for A-Rod. It's 11-0 Yanks. And Jones fouls it back. A-Rod was 0 for 3 with a walk in this game. Patton deals high. Swing and a miss.
First look at Patton, and he appears to have a good off-speed pitch.
Tonight and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy part of the game. All you have to do is text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, CC Sabathia, number 2, Mark Teixeira, number 3, Nick Swisher, number 4, Derek Jeter. Here's Cano. He's 1 for 3, but he scored 3 runs tonight. Bounced up there.
The return throw goes into center field.
Pitches high to Cano.
He passed a pitch to Fox, and Fox is take that. Yeah, it's getting a little sloppy out there.
The 2-0. And the count 3-0. And he walks him on 4 pitches.
Yeah, we just saw a shot of Buck Showalter and Mark Connor. And one thing to Buck's credit, he has been about as positive as you can be on some of these games where the Orioles really haven't played well. And he tries to emphasize the positive. There aren't many positive out of tonight's game. It'd be interesting to hear what he has to say about this particular ball game on this particular night.
Russell Martin takes outside. Swing and a miss. He wants no part of that hug. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. High fly ball, center field. Jones puts it away for the second out. Yeah, so I'm at the game. They scored 5 runs in the first. They never looked back.
I'm looking back now.
I'm on yes? Really? No way.
Hey, Posada with a chance to get his first hit batting right-handed.
Posada's had a nice night. Been on base 3 times, 2 walks, an RBI double, scored a run. Creeping that average up, 184 now. And there's the strike. All of these scenarios, all of these doomsday predictions and conflicts would be so much more easy to resolve if Jorge hits. Everybody wants him to hit, and he hits that one deep to right center. Going back, Jones, and he makes the play on the run. But that's a good sign for Posada as he really gave it a ride from the right side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Yankees are leading this one 11-0. You got to stick around after the last out for the WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz, John Flaherty, Jack Curry. They're all in the studio to break down all the action from this game and look around the major leagues. Plus, Kimberly Jones will be talking to everybody in the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame, only on Yes. Is CC Sabathia going to get a complete game? The Yankees have gone 336 consecutive games without a complete game. And that is the longest streak in American League history.
And look who's the last pitcher to do it.
CC.
Where'd he do it? Right here.
But this is a different day and age, and with Mariano Rivera in the bullpen, it's going to be very tough to not give him the ball in the 9th inning. Hyundai scoreboard 11-0. Tonight's not a Mariano night. Last night was at 1-0. Although Colon only had 87 pitches. I don't know if CC will get a complete game because I don't know if they'd want to push his pitch count that high. Grounded foul. Right now, after that pitch, he's thrown 96. And I don't know the wisdom of pushing him out there when you got pitchers that could get the final 3 outs, because a complete game really doesn't mean anything.
No, it does not in this day and age. The most pitches he's thrown in a game this year is 119. There's a game that he lost. He threw 119 pitches in 7 innings in Detroit.
The 0-2. Grounded right side. And Cano can't get it. It's a base hit for Andino.
Brett Gardner has moved from left field to center field. Andrew Jones, who hit for Alex Rodriguez, remains in the game in left field. And Eduardo Nunez is now in the ball game playing third base. Nunez will be batting in the 2nd spot in the order, which has been vacated by Curtis Granderson, who's now out of the ball game.
Here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy 0 for 3 tonight. And a breaking ball strike from Sabathia.
His curveball tonight has been very, very good.
Let's see if the Yankees can turn 2. There's one. On to first. It's a double play.
That's a tailor-made double play. Infielders at short and second are pinched towards the bag. And J.J. Hardy is going to swallow the double play pill. Looked like an off-speed pitch. Out in front. He has to hustle down the line.
And here's a Coors Light freeze can. Freeze it on the catch. And they got him. Good call by Brian Gorman, the crew chief. Markakis fouls it away. .100 pitches for Sabathia. The average is 110 pitches, as Kenny said, as high as 119. And that's 101, and it's inside third and past Nunez. Jones will field, and they're going to hold Markakis to a single. And there is that move to make the call to the bullpen.
Yeah, maybe the sense is that they want to hold him as few pitches over 100 as possible.
It makes sense.
Maybe if he had gotten that third out right there.
They give it a shot,
yeah,
bat to at bat. Here's Vlad Guerrero, who was inexplicably thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double in the 6th. With his team down by double figures, he takes a pitch low.
Man, that's dealing. 78 strikes, 24 pitches out of the zone. And some of those were teasers, trying to get them to swing. Guerrero with the 2 hits tonight has jumped his average over 300. And now has a 5-game hitting streak.
Amari Sanit warming. Joe Girardi is happy, I'm sure, to be going home with a 3-game winning streak, unless this suddenly inexplicably falls apart. The 1-2.
He was telling Kim Jones prior to the ballgame tonight he was hoping that CC could give him the same type of effort that Cologne gave him last night. And, well, neither one of them giving up a run.
Cologne had to be better than CC tonight, though, because he only had a 1-0 lead. CC's been dealing with a big lead since the first inning. That was fouled off the foot of Guerrero. Next time we'll see Cologne will be at the stadium against Toronto. All of his starts now are appointment starts. You have to see what he's going to do.
Whether it's here on Yes or at the stadium. He's done a good job of turning back the clock.
He's gone back to the future without a DeLorean. Or the flux capacitor. The 2-2.
How old is that movie now? That movie's
I think it was just celebrating its 25th anniversary.
Wow. See, that movie you remember, and you saw.
That one I saw a couple of times.
I'm not going there. I'm not even asking anymore.
The 2-2. Dribbled slowly foul.
That's an example of Guerrero and his long reach. That pitch was not a strike. Talk about it. There's not a pitch he can't reach. He hit a ball here in Baltimore. That ball was almost in the dirt. A couple of years ago when he was with the Angels, ball in the dirt, he hit it on one hop for a base hit in the left field.
Little cricket move. Swing and a miss. And then it chases up. And that'll do it in the 8th. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 left. Let's go to the 9th. Yankees lead 11-0. Nick Swisher will turn around to what is his stronger side this year. Bat from the right side, leading off the 9th. Yankees leading 11-0.
Got 2 hits left-handed tonight.
Troy Patton entering his second full inning of work. Swisher 2 for 3 with a walk, 4 ribbies, and a run scored. Strike, Larry Vanover with the call. Count 2-1. The 2-1. Foul back to the screen, 2-2. One of the stars of the Bridgewater baseball team. It's still exciting to find out what's in that prize as Nick Swisher swings and misses. Filed away.
What was it?
I don't know. Yankees have hit a couple into the gap today. Here's Brett Gardner.
You talked about the offense coming alive, Michael. It's what, 27 hits in the last 2 games. Of course, last night was 15 innings, and the Yankees pounded out a hit an inning, though.
And the Yankees didn't do much with their hits last night.
No.
Tonight they have. Foul back here. Doesn't quite make our booth. And a Yankee fan wearing Sabathia's uniform.
You know, Kevin Long has to be pretty happy, Michael. 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Kevin has been suffering through this slump with all of his hitters. He feels it just like they do, and he works even harder to try to get him out of it.
When you're a hitting coach or you're a pitching coach, I mean, none of the hitters are hitting great at the same, all of them at the same time. And when you're a pitching coach, not all of your pitchers are, you know, functioning on all cylinders.
So you're never happy.
Well,
Totally.
there's always something that you got to work on.
Yep.
Coaches work long and hard.
Grounded up the middle, and Dino, no throw.
He wasn't going to get him anyway.
So Gardner picks up a single, a second hit. Hey, tonight after the postgame, don't miss a new Forbes Sports Money as UFC President Dana White discusses the state of the sport, including a debate about MMA league sanction in New York, plus an examination of the Mets and Dodgers financial situations. It's Forbes Sports Money, all new tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. Pitch to Jeter is a strike. Swing and a miss.
Looked like a little slider in on the hands. Oh, there's a Derek Jeter fan. Jeter hasn't disappointed tonight. Scored a couple of runs, a double and a triple. Run batted in. first triple of the year.
Where is exactly this kid located? Does he have a shot at a foul ball or any kind of souvenir? We need to put him in context. The 2-2. Foul back.
He does have a shot at a foul ball. I think he's down the right field line.
Yeah, you know, Jeter goes that way a lot.
Get that glove. Get that glove ready.
Just stays alive. Did you ever catch a foul ball as a fan?
No, but I had one come to a lady in front of me in San Francisco. This is after I retired and I was an off day and I went to the ball game anyway.
Line drive. Foul.
And she was so elated that she got this ball that she was just holding it. She turned around to me sitting behind her and held it about this far from my face and said, "Have you ever seen a ball this close?" And I said, "Unfortunately, I have." Never telling. Yeah, they've been close. There's a satisfied customer. He's waiting. Oh, wrong line. He went down the left field line, right field line.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Jeter down swinging.
It's the third strikeout for Patton. We get another look. Does Derek Jeter go around too far? Yeah, he did. I like what he did, though. He brings the bat back and tries to stay up there a little while. All right, he's on the move.
This kid's strategic. He knew Jeter hit the ball that way. Here's Eduardo Nunez. And a strike. The Yankees look as if they will finish this mini road trip at 3-1. That one's driven deep to left field. Going back PA. Looking up. See ya. Two-run home run for Eduardo Nunez. And it's 13-0 Yankees.
Yeah. Should have been in the bleachers and left. Second career home run for Nunez. His first of this year, pitched right in the middle of the plate. He's talking about his speed, his throwing arm. The power sometimes is the last to come. He turns it on right there. Maybe a look into the future. Eduardo Nunez. A two-run home run here in the ninth inning.
Teixeira takes a strike.
He made the most of his one at bat, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So Nunez came in for Granderson in the 8th inning, gets this one at bat. And there you have it. So in the number 2 hole, the Yankees had a single, a triple, and a home run. A couple of runs scored. Teixeira with a high pop-up. Right side. Markakis makes the call on the catch, and that's going to do it. Yankees add 2 on 2 hits. Bottom of the 9th inning coming up. Yankees up. Lucky 13-0. So be ready. By Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. And by Grey Goose, the world's best tasting vodka. A couple of changes for the Yankees. Russell Martin goes from behind the plate. He's going to play third base. And Nunez moves from third to second, giving Cano the rest of the night off. The new catcher is Francisco Cervelli. And the new pitcher is going to be Amari Sinead. So they got catchers on the corner and behind the plate. Martin at third and Posada at first. And a catcher running the team, and his right-hand man also a catcher. So Snead will try to get the final 3 outs of this game. He's pitched in 2 games, 5 hits, 5 1/3, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
How about the job by CC Sabathia tonight, Mike?
Looks like he's going to go to 4 and 3. Gave up 7 hits and no runs. Eight strikeouts. Nine strikeouts and no walks, right? Andrew Jones takes out of the zone, 1-0.
Season high 9 strikeouts for CC.
There's a strike.
See the movement on Snead's fastball. It's he kind of turns and leaves his arm out there and slings the ball towards home plate. Watch the left shoulder just swing out, look at. Tried a breaking ball and missed.
The 3-1. Hammered foul.
Now this series is one of the best series. Adam Jones hasn't chased many pitches out of the zone. He's hit the ball hard in both ball games. We mentioned he'd been swinging the bat well coming into this series, and he has continued to do so.
The 3-2. Hot shot up the middle, a base hit. 2 more hits for Adam Jones tonight.
He's been hitting the ball hard. I think he's staying in the strike zone a little bit more than we've seen in the past.
That's going to bring up Felix P.A. P.A. 0 for 3 tonight. Count 1-0.
Sometimes when teams get this far down late in ball games, you go up there taking a strike, trying to work your way on base. Not that it matters that much when it's 13-0. Yeah, they taking 1 strike.
This game was delayed about 50 minutes, 5-0 at the start because of rain. But it's been played fairly quickly since then, despite 13 runs on the board for the Yanks. Orioles have not put much together offensively, shut down completely by Sabathia. And a base hit for Felix P.A. So runners on first and second. Nobody out. Let's take a look now at the Land Rover drive of the game.
And it's Nick Swisher. This is way back in the first inning and just off the glove of PA. 3 runs would score. And that broke the game open in the first. That turned a 2-0 lead into a 5-0 lead.
So Swisher, who was sick the final game in Tampa, has had a nice couple of games here in Baltimore. And now here's Mark Reynolds, 0 for 3 with 2 more strikeouts. Not throwing strikes when you're up 13-0 is not going to endear you to the Yankee brain trust. So Amari Sinet would be well served to just throw the ball over the plate and let his defense do the work. You've got 13 runs to play with. The 1-0. A strike. First time since David Wells and Mike Messina in August 2002 that Yankee starters had back-to-back scoreless 8-inning starts. Just an amazing stat.
Colon followed by Sabathia. Yankees looking to go 6-0 against Baltimore this year.
So 3-2 on Reynolds. First and second, nobody out, bottom of the 9th inning. 13-0 Yanks. And he deals. That one's driven deep to right center field. Giving Chase Gardner on the run, on the track. He's going to play it. Not going to play it at all. It bounces into the seats for a double. So Jones will score. PA goes to third. A double for Reynolds and RBI, and the Orioles are finally on the board. It's 13-1 Yanks.
Well, the only run that Baltimore scored last night, Jones scored it. And he's going to score on this double by Mark Reynolds. One hops into the seats in center field. And now the Yankee lead has been cut to 12.
Here's Jake Fox. And a strike. Lays a breaking ball in there. The 0-1. Grounded to third. Russell Martin across to Posada. Scoring is PA and RBI for Jake Fox. It's now 13-2 Yankees.
Russell Martin's had some infield experience before. Jorge Posada has had some infield experience before. I think they were both converted into catchers. I know Posada was. I'm pretty sure Martin was.
The 1-0. 2-0 to Snyder. Now it shows you that everybody's probably home yelling at the TV, just throw strikes. And that's what Snead wants to do. But sometimes you just can't. It's not as easy as it seems. He should be able to do it, being a big league pitcher, but he's obviously having trouble. He's not trying to nibble. He's just not able to throw strikes right now. Let's put it this way, Kenny.
Yeah, this is painful to watch.
If Girardi has to have Rothschild go to that phone and get somebody warming up, he's going to be red hot.
Oh.
And Snyder gets plucked.
Well, before he gets on the phone, he's going to go out and talk to Snead in person. After he hits Snyder with this pitch, fastball tailing it. Ooh, right on the elbow. That can't felt. That could not have felt good.
No one warming in the Yankee bullpen, and Rothschild is talking things over with Snead. Got to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. And what a postgame it is. I mean, the overall talent is somewhat overwhelming. Mm-hmm. You've got 3-time Emmy Award winner Bob Lorenz.
Yeah.
You've got former World Series catcher John Flaherty. Former brilliant New York Times writer, now unbelievable on TV, Jack Curry.
Still brilliant.
Still brilliant.
Yeah.
Writes for YesNetwork.com. Kimberly Jones, who's the ace of the staff. She'll find out everything that has to be found out in that club. I mean, I'm going to stick around and listen.
A cavalcade of stars.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's almost an embarrassment of riches. Pitch to Andino is inside. If he makes the Yankees get the bullpen up, he is writing his ticket back to Scranton Wilkes-Barre tonight. Count 2-0.
You know what the fielders are thinking behind him out there? New York's not getting any closer. Oh, there's some movement.
Runners on first and second, 1 out, 2 runs in. Yankees lead 13-2. 2-2.
And Dino was trying to hit one into the upper deck in left field. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's only been one ball hit into the second deck in left field. Above the bleachers down there.
And it was by?
You won't believe it.
Let me think.
I think I told you this one time. Only one ball hit up in here.
Was by lefty batter.
No, it was a righty, of course.
I don't know who.
Rex Hudler did it.
Wonder Dog. Wow. That's some shot.
It is.
Here's the 3-2. Rounded to third. Off the glove of Martin, everybody's safe. Oh, he was thinking, let me step on third and fire to first, inning-ending, game-ending double play, but he didn't look the ball into the glove.
Oh, my goodness. You know, at this point, you're just taking outs. You make the catch of the ball, step on the bag, and get one. Instead, you get none. You're just trying to race the outs off the board. You can see he was moving towards third before he actually caught the ball. The ball broke off the end of his glove.
Pitch to Hardy is outside. So an E5 for Russell Martin, Yankees' second error. The other one, a throwing error by Jeter in the third. Line right at Jeter. And everybody stays put. 2 away. And that'll leave it up to Nick Markakis as the Orioles are down to their final out. Markakis 1 for 3, was hit by a pitch in the first inning. He singled in the 8th and struck out his other 2 times up. High drive, deep center, going back Gardner. He's on the track. He makes the play up against the wall, and you could put that one on the left side as the Yankees win this game 13-2. Markakis, a bid for a grand slam, falls just short. Amori Sinet gets the final 3 outs in somewhat nerve-wracking fashion, and the Yankees hold on to win this one 13-2. Well, Joe Girardi has to feel good about things. His team has bounced back from losing 6 in a row to winning 3 in a row. Got to wrap this baby up, and then we got the big post game that we promised you. Yankees win this one 13-2.
If you don't have an...
On this rainy Thursday evening, 13-14-2, beating 2-10-0. Time of the game, barely manageable 3 hours. Sabathia the win, Ferguson the loss. Big game for Swisher, bigger game for Sabathia. Jeter, 2 more hits, a double and a triple, or RBI, and 2 runs scored. Coming up on the YES Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, John Flaherty, and Kim Jones. Special thanks to Senior Producer Bill Boland, Senior Director Michael Cooney, Vice President of Operations Ed Delaney, our Supervising Producer Woody Fryman, and the Executive Producer of the YES Network is Mr. John J. Filippelli. Join us again tomorrow for Yankees baseball as the Bombers take on the Mets from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. on the YES Network with first pitch on My 9 just after 7. Once again, the final score 13-2 Yankees. We'll be back with some final thoughts in a moment. But for now, let's go to Bob Lorenz and company in our YES Network studios. Guys?